Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today for this NVivo 14 webinar on accelerating your literature review with Citavi and NVivo. So we're just going to do a short introduction of both myself and Silvana, and then we'll get right into talking about the new integration. So my name's Stacy Penna. I'm the Customer Engagement and Enablement Director here at Lumivero, formerly known as QSR International. I've worked at the company for 10 years. I used NVivo for my own dissertation a few years back. And now I work with customers with webinars and podcasts and user group meetings, and excited to be presenting today with my colleague, Silvana.
Hi, and I'm Silvana Di Gregorio. I'm Product Research Director at Lumivero. I'm a sociologist and former academic. I've worked with what formerly was known as QSR for 10 years, and now is Lumivero. I also was product managing Citavi for a while last year, and actually I was managing and sort of designing the Citavi and NVivo integration, which you're about to see.
And did a very good job of it too. So first, we just wanted to talk a little bit about Lumivero because it's a new company. So Lumivero, back in January, we combined three companies, all having to do with research solutions and software. And so the goal of the company Lumivero is to help researchers aggregate and collect their data, organize their data, analyze with different methods, their data, report and present, and track and measure. And you can see at the bottom all the different softwares that are part of this portfolio now. So we have NVivo, Citavi, XLStat, Sonia, at-risk and decision tree tools. And XLStat is something more like SPSS. At-risk concentrates on risk management solutions, and decision tools is more products you can use around risk management. So feel free to check that out. We're here today to show you NVivo 14, which came out on March 14th. And the reason our developers and our company created NVivo 14 is that we listened to you, the customers, and your challenges. So what came out quite strongly was collaboration. So the need for researchers to collaborate in real time, and also across Mac and PCs too. So we have both of that with NVivo 14 when you use NVivo Collaboration Cloud, and also having more insights. So that's where integrating Citavi, which is a reference management and writing tool, came in. So we'll be showing you all of this today, but we'll be concentrating on the NVivo and Citavi integration, so we can show you how it can help you with your lit review. So and I just want to make sure this is recording, right, Silvana?
I think I got a
yes,
message.
It is. Okay, yeah, sorry. I was just making so what's new in NVivo 14? So like I mentioned, real-time collaboration. So when you're using NVivo 14 with NVivo Collaboration Cloud, multiple team members can come in and work in the same NVivo project at the same time, so you can see everyone's coding. And also it easily connects with Mac and Windows. So for that, you also need NVivo 14 and NVivo Collaboration Cloud. So no more merging projects or converting them. You're just all working in the same project in the cloud. Citavi Insights, and that's what we'll be concentrating on today, powered by NVivo. So how you can use NVivo and Citavi together to really go beyond reference management, and be able to use the power of NVivo to analyze your references at a higher level, create visuals, see patterns with them. And also we have a simplified account management with all Lumivero products. So if you have NVivo Collaboration Cloud, NVivo Transcription, or Citavi, it's all a single sign-on. You don't have to have separate accounts anymore. So now I'll have Silvana take over and talk about the Citavi integration here and insights.
Right, thank you, Stacy. So I want to start about talking about the challenges that everyone has, I think, when working with literature. I mean, first of all, it's just, information overload. I mean, there's just so much constantly being published. It seems over the years now, more and more stuff is being published, research papers and articles and reports. And it's not just that. I mean, there's all different types, there's conference proceedings, there's working pages, and, you can really struggle in order to identify and access, the relevant resources across all these, different types of sources of literature. Also, more and more research now is becoming interdisciplinary. It can be hard. I mean, it's hard enough to just keep up in your own discipline, but if you're working in an interdisciplinary project, just to familiarize yourself with, research in different subject areas can be a real challenge. And then, of course, once you have all this stuff, you have to synthesize it. You have to, be able to put it all together in terms of, making a coherent argument about what it's about. And also, you'll have to be evaluating each source as well. In fact, that sort of comes hand in hand with synthesizing, is that as you're reading, you're evaluating, you're saying, is this a credible article? Does it contradict other stuff? And, keeping all that in, tracking all that is a thing in itself. But also being able to organize the literature into a structure that just makes it, a lot easier for you to see what you have is a challenge. And of course, there's the whole issue about writing up, putting it all together in a coherent argument. So that's sort of the challenges that I think most of us face when working with literature. So if we can go on to the next slide. And Citavi is great for helping you with all those challenges. In terms of searching the databases, I mean, it supports a wide range of databases for you to search and find things, as well as having what's called a Citavi picker, which is if you're accessing databases from the webs, that's a quick way of grabbing literature to add to your project. But I'll be showing you how it also links up with any databases that your university or organization has to pull in what you need. Both the references and the full text. And in terms of synthesizing, and this is where it comes into its own, and this is what differentiates it from our typical reference management software like EndNote, like Zotero, like Mendeley, is that it has tools to not only annotate, but to summarize, to grab quotes from the literature that you may need and put it in an outline. So you actually start your thinking and reflection within Citavi itself, and you're actually starting the analysis process because you have a way that you can categorize parts, not just whole articles or books or whatever, but categorize parts of what you're finding in an outline, which I'll be showing you. So you can see the whole. So it provides a central platform to organize and annotate and start putting together connections between literature. So to manage all this massive stuff that you're collecting. And then the cool thing about it, I think, is that when you're writing up, you can move that outline directly into Word with the Word plugin, together with any quotes that you categorize. And so you have like this, you could have the structure of your article already laid out, and you just have to sort of fill in the bits around it. But you'd have the quotes, you'd have your summaries, and it's all linked to and cited to the literature that you have. So that's sort of, when we call it the all-in-one writing and referencing solution, that's what we mean. It's more than just collecting the stuff and organizing it in some way. It's actually, you're starting to reflect and think in it. So if we can get the next slide, Stacy. And yeah, and that's what that shows. And you can see there's an overlap between Citavi and NVivo. So basically you're starting the basic evaluation of, for example, each piece of literature that you have in Citavi and commenting on that, and also putting it together in an organized way, in an outline form. And then when you move it into NVivo, you can use NVivo's terms to interpret more deeply, to look at patterns in the literature, and also if you also have your empirical data in NVivo, obviously you can cross compare what you found in the literature with what you found in your own explorations, your own study. And then you can again put it all together in Word. So that's how together they really complement each other. But it's important to understand that it's more than EndNote and Zotero and Mendeley, what normal things, because you're actually starting the analysis within Citavi itself in a very straightforward way, and then you can use the fantastic tools that NVivo has to explore deeper.
And that's what we're going to show you. So I'll end the show and stop sharing, and Silvana will share her screen.
Right. Yes. So I shall now share my screen. And right. So so you can see here that I have Citavi opened. So so this project here, you can see I'm in the references tab. So you can see the list of references that I have, where you can see there's a little paperclip icon, means that I have the actual PDF, which you can see on the right-hand side here. And if I don't have the PDF, I do have the reference still. But if we go back to one of these where I have the PDFs, you can see here that you have information about the article, you have the abstract, you have the keywords that are attached to the article or book, whatever comes directly in to Citavi. And yeah, and here's sort of like the metadata here, and there you have the abstract separately. And here, and this is where what's unique about Citavi is that we have here the links to parts of this article, which is here, and obviously I can, I can make this bigger, and if I'm reading, and I can just open it up on its own. But you can see here that there are somewhat what we call here indirect quotations, a summary, and it's very simple that I can just highlight a part of the transcript here, and if I want to keep that as a direct quotation, I would click that, or I can have what's called an indirect quotation, which is just, I don't want to get the whole quote, but I just want to make a short note about what it's about, or I might want to do a longer summary about what it's about. And so if I do a direct quotation, I just click that there, and you can see it's come in there, and then I can sort of tag it to, you can see here I have a system of categories already set up in that way. So yeah, so you can see here, and I'll just tick that to select it. So I have, and they're all linked to the actual, I go into each one of these, hyperlinked to the part of the text there. for me to review. And also you can see I can have images as well. I can tag there. So and also here you can see there's a task tab, so that I can say that I need to read this, and I can see Stacy hasn't started to read it yet, because there she is there, to have that. So that's just to give you like a quick sense of the articles. And then for, if I don't have the PDF, like for this one, I don't have the PDF here, I can still bring in, this information very quickly by grabbing it. There's the abstract, and I can also still have quotations. So if I don't have the PDF, if this was a book, for example, I could write here, a direct quotation as I've done here from it, or I can, write a summary of part of it, etc. So I can still tag these. If you can see here with this one, this has been tagged as that piece is about climate change. Even though I don't have it in a PDF form in Citavi itself. So I can still work with references where I don't have the PDF, for example, like a book that's not digitalized. Key thing here is what's different is this knowledge organizer here. And here is where you can create an outline of, let's say, your article, or however you want to organize things. And here's where you have the tags. So I just showed you how I had tagged something there. So here about changes or about environment here, I could actually see there's that quotation there. And also I can go directly to the actual article and the point in the article of where that quotation appears. So if I go back here, and it's very simple to add categories, to move categories around, just play around, just to play around with it. And also I have a task organizer here, and as you can see here, you can say, like, here I added a reference here. You can tell yourself to read. You can it's a way that you can work. And if you notice here is that both Stacy and I have worked on this project, and in fact I can see down here that we're both online here, and we can actually, if I just have to maybe make this a bit smaller because my controls for the webinar are in the way here. But if I go back here, whoops, I wanted just to make that a little bit smaller there. And if I go into 2 users here, you can see I can open the chat here, and I can, just say, hey, Stacy, do you have anything new to add? And in fact, I can see that Stacy has already sent me a message here, which she's just said, yes, interesting article here. So you can see how you can collaborate. So she can work on this project in real time with me. And also we have a chat feature so that we can talk to each other at the same time about what we're doing here. So so that's, yeah, I mean, that's, I think, is a really sort of cool part. I'll just maximize this again here. Right, and I mentioned about ways of adding references. So, therefore I can do an online search here, and you can see here, I the British Library and the Library of Congress are free, but if you had subscribed databases, you can, search there. So you can search for, I don't know, pollution, and I can, let's say, ocean pollution, and I can, have the year here, and just search for here, and yeah, so you can see here, and then I can bring stuff in that way. If I already had some of this stuff in my project, it would indicate there's a duplicate, so it lets me know if there's duplicates, and I would just tick that what I want to bring in and just add to the project, and you can see it will bring in the keywords as well, in that way. And another way of bringing it in is, so this is a thesis, and you can see how it's organized it, like that. Also, if I go online here and go into Google Scholar here, I can again just search for, I don't know, ocean pollution here, or climate change. And you can see how we have the little Citavi icon here. So that's showing me how I can actually bring in a particular, just clicking on that icon, it will just bring it into the current project. So I'll just wait for it to do that. But you can see how easy it is. If you're working with databases online, you can just use the picker in this way. So I'll just say, I'll just only import that particular article, and it will appear in Citavi. So there it is here, and yeah, and I'll be getting the PDF as well. And there's the PDF, so you can see how easy it is to get your data. And as I said, it's quite easy to start working with it, and like this, and just either having a direct quotation, or I can just summarize what this is about, and I can just give it a little title, greenhouse gases, and just type in a summary. And again, I can just enter it into, I could have a new I could have a, let's say a new category here, or a new subcategory here, which I'll just put as, greenhouse gases. So it's quite easy to start tagging the literature. So that's just a summary that I've done, and you can see there's the green icon there that's saying that, but it's linked. And obviously, if I was doing this for real, I'd have a more comprehensive summary of what it's about there. So what I want to do is I want to share.
So wait, Silvana, before you do that, people have questions about Citavi, so I thought it'd be better if you answered them while you're here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, couple questions. So somebody's asked, how do you create the categories that you were showing?
Right. Well, you just saw me. I could do it on the fly, as I just did when I was selecting something and creating a new category. Or I can start, from here and just start adding, like, a new category would be a top level category, or a new subcategory like this. And so I'll just call it another category. So I'm just right clicking. So it's very easy to do it. So you could start by, if you know what kind of structure you want, you can start with the structure, or you can do it as you're going through, and I'll just create this as a direct quotation here, and then here is where I would enter the categories, and whether it's an existing category here, or whether it's I can do more than one category, or I can just add another add a new subcategory, like this.
Great, thank you. And
Right.
somebody had a question: can we create a knowledge tab specific to each article?
Well, you could, because what you could do, if you really wanted to do that, is that you could have like at the top level for a particular article, but there might be better ways of working in Citavi, because you can see here there's an evaluation for each. So for this, so these are the tabs you have for each article that you have, and you can actually just type your evaluation or key things here. You can evaluate it in terms of you would have your own criteria about how you're evaluating, whether it could be whether this is a great article, or it's okay, or you would have your own sort of criteria, but you have this 5-star thing, and you would write it in here. So certainly you could, with the knowledge thing, you could have it for each article, but that might not be the best way of doing it. I think that if you're going article by article, it's better to sort of use the features that relate to the particular article that you have in Citavi here, and that you can sort of write your evaluation of it in that way. Yeah.
So here's a couple people had questions about how you can import either from databases or from other reference management softwares. Can you show how to get there?
Well, from databases, it's the online search here, and you can see here that I can add, if I had so here are some of the common ones, like whether it's Ovid or whatever, and then I can, if I subscribe to any of these, I would just tick them and select them that way, and just add them. It's just my controls here sort of getting them. I have to keep a little bit smaller, but anyhow, you can see how you could do it that way. Also, when you're connected to your university network, it does have an auto detect facility to search for any databases that your university or your organization subscribes to, so they should come up automatically here. And also you can both import from another reference management program here. So sample from EndNote. So you would just go through this thing. So you would say whether it's EndNote or Mendeley or Zotero, and it will import what you've put in EndNote or what you've put in Zotero, what comes into Citavi.
Yeah, we had a couple of questions about that. So Silvana just showed, how you can bring in other reference management software into Citavi. So you're not starting from scratch. You bring all that work you already did, and then you can use the powerful features of Citavi then. I just want to clarify now we're going to show you how to share this with NVivo, and that will get into some questions about how to do visuals and, go deeper into the analysis. But also you would need NVivo 14 and Citavi. So this is Citavi 6 desktop. So you just need the latest version of that, but you can also do this with Citavi web too. So I just want to clarify, I had a few questions about that. All right, we're going to thank you for taking those questions and go ahead and show how to share with NVivo.
Right, so you can see here, there's a little button that says share with NVivo. So I shall just click that button, and you can see down at the bottom, you can see you get a little message that says the project's being shared with NVivo. And now I get another message that says that this project's ready to be accessed in NVivo. So that's all you need to do. And then when I go into NVivo, so here I have an empty project in NVivo, and I shall just click import, add from Citavi. And you can see here that I have a list of other projects that I have sort of shared with NVivo before. So you just click the one that you want to open. So this is the latest one here. And I'll click next. And so you can see here that I have the list of all the references. So I can just select certain references or all the references. Also, I can toggle so that, like with the paper clips, those are my references that have the PDFs attached to it. So I'll just select all of them and click next. And then you can see here, here's the knowledge organizer categories. So I'll just select that and click next, and just confirm. And yep, so you wait for it to be 100% complete. You just wait, and then until you get this message that says success, and I just click close. And yep, so here it's done. So what it's done is it's created a folder under files called references, and it contains all the references. So it contains both the references that have PDFs like that, but also it also has the references where we don't have the PDFs. So those of you who are familiar with NVivo know there's an area called externals, but what we decided was that there's no reason why they just can't all be together. So you have both the references with PDFs and without the PDFs all together under a separate folder called references. And also you can see here under codes, it's created a separate folder called Citavi. And there you can see here we have all of the categories that have become codes in NVivo. If I go back to references, so if I look at, for example, this one here, I can see that there's some coding here, and right, and just put it here. And what I can see is that if I view the annotations here, this one doesn't have any, but if I click on all here, so here I can see, yeah, I can see that this bit was coded as environment there. And also, I'll just check, you can see here that the PDFs have memos linked to them. And if I open the link to memo, I don't know if this does have any, but if I had created, so you can see I have the abstracts here, but also here are some indirect quotations and also some summaries. So as you saw when I showed you in Citavi, you can not only create direct quotations, which become codes in NVivo, but if you have indirect quotations, or if you have summaries, they come out in memos that's linked to the articles, but they are also coded. So here, if I just show the coding stripes, so you can see how these are all coded. And of course, this is just a demo project. So, I mean, it's not saying anything really interesting. You see what I mean? That's just for you to get the point. But if you notice that it also has some see also links. So therefore, like, you know, for let's say for this one here, I can see if I double click that, it automatically opens up that article, and that's where that indirect quotation is referring to. So you can see what it's linked to, your summaries or your indirect quotations. You can see where in the article it's linked through via the see also links, which are created automatically in NVivo. Just want to open up another one here because I'm not sure whether right, if this one has an annotation. Yeah, so in Citavi, you can, when you create either a direct quotation or an indirect quotation or whatever, you can have like a short title for it, and that comes in as an annotation. So I could just jump to, you know, where this has been coded here. So this has been coded as key themes. There. And then for my, so this is an example of a reference where I don't have the PDF. But here you can see here, I get the abstract, I get, if there were any comments, they'd come in. I get, if it's the book and I just sort of typed in a direct quotation, that would come in, and any summaries or indirect quotations as well. And those are also coded. To the structure that I created in Citavi. And you can see that, you know, when I go here into, you know, where there's coding about climate change, if I'm opening up the coding for climate change, I can see, you know, I mean, here I get a summary of the actually articles that I have some coding for climate change, and then I see actually what's been coded about climate change there. Obviously, we also get the all the metadata as well. Has come in from Citavi, as you would expect. Right. And then, of course, you know, once it's here, I can use Citavi's visualization tools or its query tools to actually get a sense of, you know, what they're talking about. And right, so that's.
Well, that's running. I'll just answer some questions. So just to let you know, to have this option where sharing from Citavi to NVivo, you do have to have NVivo 14. So if your institution has NVivo, you just have to make sure they have the most recent version, which is NVivo 14. And then you would need Citavi then to do what Silvana just asked, or what just showed.
Yeah, you know, and then from here, like I can, sorry, I can just go into running a text search query from Salinity here to get a word tree, to see what context. So as I said, there hasn't been much coding done in this, but you can see how, you can really start digging in. into your literature by using the tools, as well as doing more kind of like cross tabs things between things like data publication, and whatever codes that I want to sort of bring in here. So I can just bring in, I'll just bring in these codes here on key themes. Oops. I meant to do that. Click OK. And run the query. And yeah, so as I said, there's not much here in terms of coding that we did in Citavi. I mean, as I said, if this was a real project, we would do a lot more with it. But you kind of get the idea of how you can start to see patterns in the data like that. So I'll stop there. I don't know if you want to add anything else, Stacy.
No, just I'm trying to keep up with questions. Got a lot of great questions, but we just want to go. I'm going to share my screen again because we're going to switch gears a little and show how you can collaborate in NVivo with team members in the cloud. So no more merging or converting. You just can go right in. So I'll share my screen. We just want to talk a little bit about. I think you have to stop sharing, maybe, Solana. Okay, so. We just do like to mention too, this is all the different types of data that can come into NVivo. Sometimes people aren't aware of that. So we just showed Citavi at risk. It would be a spreadsheet you can import with more your quantitative data, same with the Excel stat. You can bring in social media, Word documents, PDFs, emails, Qualtrics. You can bring in surveys and Excel sheets. So, the sky's the limit really for data. But we wanted to point out that part of what's new with NVivo 14, when you have NVivo Collaboration Cloud 2, is you have this new way of collaborating. So now it's really easy. You have a team member who uploads a project to the cloud. Your other team members can access it, and it's all in real time, and it doesn't matter what operating system you have. It's also secure. So it's on Microsoft Azure. The server locations are in multiple places around the world, and it's GDPR and HIPAA compliant. And just to reiterate that you can collaborate on any operating system. So it doesn't matter if your team members have Mac or Windows, you can work in real time together on NVivo project. We'll go over roles after we show them because that makes more sense. We first show them.
And what I'm going to do here is share this project with Stacy, but first I have to upload it to the cloud.
So Silvana is the project owner because she's uploading it.
Yeah, because I created the project and well, I'm uploading it. So it always seems to stop at 19%, and then it then it finishes. And you saw already how Stacy and I could collaborate together on the same Citavi project. I mean, these are obviously cloud-based projects. In Citavi, you can have a local project, but it's very easy to just turn your local project into a cloud project if you want to share it with anyone. And obviously, if you're using Citavi Web, I mean, that is a cloud project. So you can share your Citavi web projects with NVivo, as well as your cloud projects in Citavi. So yep, so the upload's completed, and so now you can see this Manage Team button comes up, and I already have some seats for Collaboration Cloud. And you can see that I've assigned those seats to a few people, and Stacy's one of the people that I assigned those seats for. So I can just click Add User. And you can see that she's added as a collaborator. But if I hadn't added her to my seats before, I can just quickly click on this button to go to subscription and add her there, and then she would appear in this drop down list. So Stacy is now a member of this team. So I don't know, I'll stop share. Stacy, do you want to show?
Yeah, I'll share. Yeah. So I'll open up NVivo. So for me to access the project that Silvana just shared, I just open up NVivo and I go to Cloud Projects. And all the projects we've worked on will show up, and you can see here's the one that Silvana just shared with me. So I just click on it and then I go to clone. So what it's doing here, it's going to save this project on my desktop just in case I work offline somewhere. I'm in the field, I can still work offline. And then when I'm connected to the internet again, it will sync.
Yeah, the NVivo, you have to have NVivo 14 to have this Collaboration Cloud, but you do purchase Collaboration Cloud separately. But if you already had what we call old Collaboration Cloud, you would automatically get the updated version of Collaboration Cloud that allows you to work the way Stacy and I are currently working together.
So you can see I came in, so it's the same references that Silvana, she modified them because they came in. I can see the codes that came in. She created them and modified because those are her initials. But what I'll do is I'll start, I'll just import some, actually I'm going to create a new folder because now I want to bring in some interview data. And I'll just bring in 2 here. So I brought in interviews, and I'll bring, I'll also create some code. So maybe I want to create a folder called themes, because now I'm finding themes and patterns in my own data. And I'll just create code. And I think Silvana on her end starting to create some codes too, but she'll be able to see Barbara, though I imported it in a second. So you can see those are my initials, SLP. So I'll open up Barbara and I'll start coding. Oh, themes, I need to go themes. And Silvana will be coding too.
Right, I haven't started coding yet.
Oh yeah, did you create a code?
No, but I will. I did bring in a document, but I didn't put it in the interviews tab.
That's okay. Let's see, it comes in.
So.
And what happens with NVivo, you can tell it's syncing or not because there's a sync status little check mark. So it says it's up to date. Oop, there it's syncing. You can see with a little circle there. Oh, you can see Silvana's community code came in. So she created this and modified it, but I'll code some to her code too. And in a minute, we'll show you the coding stripes and how you can look across coders to see how they've coded. Okay, so I'll go to Barbara's and do it. Oh, you can see, so Solana's interview, Susan came in, she imported that. So I'll go to open up Barbara. Oh, it's already open. And I'll go to coding stripes. And first I'll just show all. So you can see the coding stripes here. So I coded that, both of us coded this, SPG and SLP. And same here. And so on to code that, but I can also show this by user by coding stripes. I'm going to go in and select items and go to users, and you can see both of our names are here. So I'll pick both of us. And so now you can see by our initials what I coded. Yeah, I want to get the blue, what Solana coded there. See if there's some differences. Yep, I coded this where Solana coded that. So you can see really in real time you're working together, and obviously you could bring memos in and work on memos. You can also go to the Explore tab and do a coding comparison query to do inter-rater reliability, which will show your kappa coefficient. So again, we just want to show this to you because this is part of NVivo 14, but you need NVivo 14 and NVivo Collaboration Cloud to do this real-time collaboration. So I'm just going to go back to the PowerPoint real quick, and then we'll take questions. So you can see we talked about Solana was project owner. She uploaded the project. She assigned me to be on her team. Project owners can edit documents, create, delete, and merge codes. I was a collaborator, so I cloned the project, but I can import files. I can create new codes. I can code to existing codes, and I can create memos and so on. So those are the two roles and their behaviors. Just let you know, we have more of our thought leadership webinars, both in regards to qualitative and mixed methods, and then also on writing and publishing. So I'll put the links in a second, but these are live links in the PDF. Sorry, what?
Dicey, I mean, before, I'm just looking at one of the questions, and one of the things we haven't shown, they asked about citations with Citavi. We hadn't shown Word with the add-in.
Oh, right, I'll do that next. Okay, I'll do this quick. Free resources. Here, this is please join our community. I'll put the link in. You can get resources and connect with other users. And these are all our products. So Citavi for lit review, iTracks for data collection, that's a partner, NVivo transcription, NVivo desktop, and then NVivo collaboration cloud. Okay, so I'll close this. And so what I'll do, I'll go back into NVivo and I'll just go to code. And I'll just open up change. So you can do this with any Word document, but I've done some coding here. So I want to export it, the code to a Word document. And you can see here, I have the Word document open and I have a Citavi Word add-in. And I go to the Citavi pane. And so this was the project I was working in with Solana. And so you can see all that work is right here next to the Word document. And so what's great is I can start, this is my own empirical data I was working on, but I can now make this easily connected with what I had worked on in Citavi, and then what things I'd brought into NVivo too. So you can see that was, I believe it's a quote or indirect quote that came in, but it did the citations for me automatically. And then as I bring items in, it does the references too. So I can also ask, so I did that one at a time, but I could also ask the software to bring in all the items at once into my Word document. So that's what it's doing now. And it will do the citation style that you pick. And I'll show that to you in a second.
But you can see that it's bringing in the outline as headings. And then all the quotes or the summaries all come in as well, and it's all cited automatically.
Yep, and there you go. And so now I'm right here. My citation style is APA. I could do this, I could choose from any of these, and then you have more. I mean, there's hundreds of, tons of citations.
There's 11,000.
11,000. You can find yours. So let's say I want to do the default. You can see it automatically changes it in like seconds. And now, so this is really going to help you with that writing up process that we're talking about. So great. Thanks for the reminder, Silvana. I'll just stop sharing and see other questions people have. Is it true Mac or some other features are only available on PC? So there are some features that still are only in the Windows, but if you have Collaboration Cloud and you're working as a team, you're the person with the Windows project could do all those features. But we are getting closer to parity. They are working on that. So the same features will be in Mac and PC.
I mean, in terms of the Citavi and NVivo integration, it works the same in Mac. The only difference is what you saw with the indirect quotations and summaries with the PDFs. You don't have the see also links that links to the point in the PDF that's referring to, because the Mac still doesn't have see also links. But other than that, it works the same. The integration works the same in the Mac as it does in the Windows with Citavi. But as Stacy said, is that if you're working in a team and someone has the Windows version, then they can, you can use the features that you don't have in Mac in Windows, and then everyone has it.
Yeah, and there were some questions about maps and visuals. So we didn't show that, but when you import your Citavi information to NVivo, you can use all the features that are in NVivo. So you can do mapping, you could show relationships, and you could do that with the sources that your lit review sources if you wanted. So you can do all that. All right, I think we have time for one more question. Anything you see, Silvana?
The trial version, if you start with the trial, because and then you purchase NVivo or Citavi, it will you should the project will be saved, so you can open up the project and continue to work on it if you start with the trial.
Yeah, I'm just putting a link to the Lumivero community because it's a good resource for all our softwares, and it's free, so go ahead and check it out. All right, well, thank you, Silvana, for showing us all that, and thanks everyone for joining us. If you have more questions, just reach out to us, and we're happy to help you.
Right. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
And please reach out. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.